when you serve people, you serve at one level. What I do is go to the next level.
Welcome to Agency for Change, a podcast from KidGlov that brings you the stories of change makers who are actively working to improve our communities. In every episode, we'll meet with people who are making a lasting impact in the places we call home.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Agency for Change podcast. I am so glad to have you here. This is Lynn Weinman. I am the president and CEO of KidGlov. And today I'm really excited to introduce you to a new friend of mine. Steve Ramona is a self-described seasoned super connector. And he has this personality and outlook on life that is just infectious. I imagine everyone he crosses paths with, either in person or virtually, becomes his new friend like I have. Steve is the host of a very successful podcast called Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. And he also has a TV show called Together We Serve. The podcast has an audience of over 40,000 listeners. The TV show reaches an impressive audience of 1.2 million people monthly. He obviously knows what he's doing, and I can't wait for him to share with you his outlook on networking and selling and providing value. Steve, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me on. I am so excited. We probably should have a little bit of wine, but I don't drink, so I'll let you do that.
All right. Shoot, I am completely unprepared, but a little bit of wine on Lynn Weinman's podcast would be highly appropriate, wouldn't it?
I would be.
Steve, well, even though I'm sad that I don't have a cocktail in my hand, I am happy to talk to you today. And I'd love to have you start by just telling us more about your podcast, Doing Business with a Servant's Heart, and what inspired you to start that?
I'm excited. Thank you so much. What a great question. The inspiration came, I was part of a company that was selling digital business cards.
Okay.
I'm always thinking the last 20 years, how can I do more? How can I serve more, bring more value? Or as Think and Grow Rich says, law of increase, uplift people. And I've been promoting my clients that I've, working with, signed up on LinkedIn. Every week I post something with their digital, hey, do you know, Shirley has this great program, and they got introduced to the podcast through one of my clients in the digital business card company, which is how your network works. And he said, hey, I've got this guy. He's number 5 in the world in podcasting. He's helped people launch their podcasts. I'm like, guy I've been thinking about for a few years. I just didn't have time or know how.
Yeah.
So I jumped in October 4th, 2022. I'll never forget the date. And Josh Tapp, who happens to be now my business partner, and that's a whole nother story, but he started telling me, and I asked him one question. I said, what do I start? I'm so excited. He goes, just start recording. Grab your phone, your iPad, just start recording people, which is what I did. So back to the inspiration was really highlighting great stories, great businesses. Their stories of doing business with a servant's heart, how you can still serve and be successful and make money and live a good life.
I love that those things all go together. And, talk to me more about the mindset of why serving over selling is so important in today's business world.
You can sell, but you can sell one way, short term, or you can sell long term. The short term is, hey, Lynn, I've got the best product in the world. It's going to make you $1 million next year. Let's start your 2020 off. And you sign up and do it, going, oh, I'm super excited. Yeah. But that energy goes away. And eventually you realize Steve Ramona just pitched me on something that's probably not really true. Or I go, Lynn, I've heard some things about you. I've heard some value that you're looking for, some challenges. I'd love to talk to you more, how I can help you with those challenges. Let's jump on another call. Yeah. I learn more about you. I figure out, what's really going on. And I go, I think I have this product that really can help. We could do this, this, and this. Yeah. Maybe it's multiple calls, but now it's that long-term play. Building a relationship, knowing, loving, and trusting me. I throw the love in there is another word, but I like love because I want people to love me People get that, when I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
love.
No, I think they do. Yeah.
And what happens is you become a client, but now you really become a partner.
Yeah.
Because what does that mean? Go ahead.
Well, Steve, don't you think I feel like nobody wants to be sold to. And whether you're on Zoom or you're in person or you're at a networking event, if you feel like someone's going to sell you, your instant reaction is to turn away. But if you feel like someone's going to serve you, your instant reaction is to open up, right? To open up and share and look forward to conversation.
Right. One of my guests, he's a top sales guy, Mark Hunter, said, "You're selling value."
Yeah, that's
I
amazing.
love that. Does the value work for Lynn? Yes or no. And if it doesn't work for Lynn, guess what I do and I teach people to do? Serve her more. What? Yeah, it doesn't fit her. She's not ready right now. All those answers, I want to say, answers, responses, that's where I'll come, that you get. But here's the power of this. I go, Lynn, I understand you're not ready financially. It's not a fit. Here's a couple people I think can help you with some of the challenges you have. Here's a resource I think that can help you. After you've told me no, I'm not going to use your service or product right now, or maybe ever.
Yeah.
You expose them to more value, uplift them, a law of increase. They're going to feel more comfortable because we're all uncomfortable. I'm less uncomfortable now, but people come to me, hey, I've got this program. No, not interested.
Yeah.
But then you bring them more value. You're like, I really respect you. I really care for you.
Right.
What happens? Down the road, they're going to think about, I was thinking about Steve, and I got to talk to him more about that again. I think I'm ready. Yeah. Because you left that conversation by uplifting and bringing value. You didn't go, Lynn, no? What do you mean? It's only $1,000 and I can make you 10. That's pitching. Yeah. We want to stop pitching. Even pitching when you introduce yourself. Let's jump into that really quick.
Yeah.
When you jump in and you're in a networking group or meeting somebody, don't pitch them. Talk about what you're passionate about, what you love. I love my podcast, Doing Business with a Servant's Heart, because the incredible stories of incredible people coming on and motivating, inspiring, and educating my office.
Well, Steve, I'm going to say you practice what you preach, because you invited me to be on your podcast. And I said yes. And we recorded an episode that you launched, and it's out there. And I will say, it was a truly enjoyable process. And B, you did live up to your word. You asked me what you could do for me, and you connected me with some really great people who I have been meeting with. And you probably feel that energy or that love in the world, because each of these people that I talk about, we both start with, that's Steve Ramona. Isn't he a great guy? Yeah, he is a great guy, right? And that just perpetuates itself. So you are authentic in living that process, and I've had a chance to experience it. So thank you.
You're very welcome. And it's something I'm excited to say, this audience. Anybody can do this.
Yeah.
I say this all the time. I want to be very, I'm nothing special, but I'm super special because I take action.
Yeah.
I'm authentic. I'm genuine. So audience, keep that in mind. You all can do this. If you want to reach out to me, we'll talk later about that. I could show you how. It's not hard. It's all in the head and taking action, which is part of your mindset.
Yeah. Can you give us any more detail on your approach to building those meaningful partnerships and kind of keeping that inner circle of your base of networking?
We're in the people asset investment business.
People asset investment business. Tell me more.
What the heck is that? Well, what's an asset? It's something that's assisting your business, it's growing.
Yeah.
It's growing. Well, everybody listening that has a business or is an entrepreneur, if you had 0 people, would you make any money?
No.
Yeah, absolutely. 0. I mean, maybe you need 1 or 2, maybe you need 100, 200, maybe you need 1,000. That doesn't matter, but we need to treat people as an asset. And that's part of the uplift in bringing them value. Lynn, I met you. I loved you. You were a great guest. You were an awesome person. If you weren't, I would still do that. Not that somebody would be a bad person, but unless they're swearing at you and telling you, which I've had a couple people get very pitchy on me.
Wow.
Then of course it stops. It's crazy stories.
There's some people that shouldn't be helped. Yeah.
Exactly. I was just dealing with it today. I got an email from a lady. She keeps pushing me for, doing marketing for my podcast. And I finally said no. And she goes, Steve, in an email, well, you're missing out. You did this, and this. I said, I'm blocking you. I've told you 3 times no. I would never purchase from you. And that's the attitude. You got to be careful, audience. Put yourself in the customer, prospect, client's shoes.
Yeah.
How do you like to be treated?
Absolutely. With value, with respect, with warmth, with care. I think, the other thing I think is that a lot of business leaders are really value their time. And so giving 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes for a pitch feels really difficult, right? Giving 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes for a conversation that might help me or connect me while you're also, sharing and building network, that is a really different thing. So, Steve, how'd you get into this world in the first place, right? Like, I'm imagining Steve Ramona, a 3rd grader on the playground saying, I'm going to be the world's greatest servant, leader, networker, podcaster. Is that how it happened?
No, and it's interesting you'd say that. I was a big sports guy.
Oh, you were?
My uncle played for the NFL New York Giants.
Wow.
My cousin played partly with the 49ers. I've been involved with sports my whole life. I wanted to be a professional football player or baseball player. That was my whole up to about 15 or 16. And then God said, you're going to stay at 5'8". We're not going to make you any taller. Guess what? Let's find something else for you to do. It was very sad for me as a kid, but understanding it. And, sports is a great way to build a network. Playing softball and adult softball or high school, we could tell stories of people in sports, the community. Yeah. But what happened is the blessing of not God saying, hey, Kay, you're short. You're not going to play pro football. Is my family started a health club.
Oh.
And this is about 18 years old, just getting out of high school. My cousin said, who's the president, hey, why don't you come, work at the front desk while in the summertime, make some money? I said, absolutely. And Lynn, it turned out to 20 years of working there. Becoming a director. But what I learned the first couple of years when I stayed there was I'm 18 years old, 40, 50, 60-year-olds are coming in.
Mm.
And it's, hey, Lynn, have a great workout. Tony, have a great workout. We have this thing. Probably that's where I learned customer service through my cousin, Steve Ramona. Shout out to you. I love you. Is we always talked about, here's the thing that he taught me that audience you need to work on, because I'm working on it every day, is people would walk in and I haven't seen them in a month. I don't remember their name. I go, Jeff, what do I do? He goes, just look on the computer screen. When they slide their card, go, hey, Jim, well, welcome.
Yeah.
But what happened is you start remembering names and building relationships. Now it's, Jim, how was your vacation?
Yeah.
Tony,
absolutely.
How's your grandkids?
Absolutely.
So that relation. Then what happened was this incredible story. So Tony, little Italian guy, go, hey, kid, I got this book for you. It was called The Wealthy Barber. It's still around on Amazon. He threw it at me, jokingly. I caught it. And he says, read this book. I'm coming back Tuesday. I want to ask you if you read it and what you learned.
Wow.
So Tuesday comes around. I'm like, you're telling me save 10% of my income, my income, my check, and put it into an account. Don't touch it. Yeah, you got it, kid. Great. Well, time goes by. And then, this is 1980.
Yeah.
$5 an hour, $4 an hour. It's not a lot of money.
Right.
And I didn't look at it. I followed his advice and I looked at the account 10 years later. It's $68,000 in it.
Wow.
I was blown away. It's like, 28. I think I just thought I won the lottery.
Right.
Of course, I spent $20,000 on crazy stuff.
I think people could be $68,000 in debt by the time they're 28 now. So, right?
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
So the kicker of this all, what I learned was I called Tony. He'd no longer be part of the club. He was older. And I said, hey, here's what happened. He's, congratulations. I said, can I send you $1,000? I know that's probably what you would charge. No, kid, no. I said, why not? He goes, because you took my advice, you won. You were awarded. But I was awarded as well because I threw that out to universe, free resource.
Yep.
And it worked for you. So I'm sure a billionaire or a multimillionaire came to my clinic or my agency and I work with them. So I'm part of the reason I'm wealthy is because of you. And I went, click, holy mackerel, bring value to people, but bring free value.
Yeah.
Don't charge everybody.
Right.
Give it to them.
Sometimes people are terrified of that, right? Like but one of my role models, who is a nonprofit executive, her motto, and in a bit here, I'm going to ask you for your original quote. And when I had my friend Barb Bartle on this podcast, her quote was, "Give it away." And I was like, "What do you mean, Barb?" And she said, "Just give it away. If you've got value, give it away. It'll come back to you in the end." Right. And I think sometimes we get so afraid of like holding on to our stuff and holding on to our knowledge. And by opening it up and giving it away, you create these networks of goodwill and value that turn into something that's much more valuable later on.
Absolutely. And building
Fantastic.
relationships brings you more referrals. I get 3 referrals daily.
I
'Cause
bet
I've
you
been building
do.
relationships for, 5, 10 years, and thank you for those kind words. And I hear that from, hey, that was one of the, I helped a lady yesterday. We jumped on a discovery call. In 20 minutes, I'm giving her resources, helping with business. She sent me the beautiful email. And that's why part of the reason we should do it. And I love doing it.
Yeah.
Because I just help somebody.
Yeah.
Is there money coming from her? Probably not. And I don't care. Because
Right.
Mr. Universe or Mrs. Universe talks to me. So
Right.
And gives
It
back.
very well could be. The universe is most likely a woman. I'm just going to say that right
Yeah.
now. Because she's temperamental and caring at the same time. Right?
I am going to borrow that because that is really good. I love that you said that.
Yeah, absolutely. I can say it, but you probably can't. So there you go. So, Steve, you also host a TV show. You've got the podcast, you've got the TV show. It's called Together We Serve. Can you tell us more about that project?
It's a 50-minute show where my podcast is 20, 25 minutes. I'm able to do more things like bring up videos, and it's more of a TV show where we can really highlight the guest more, but they're tied together. The key word is serve, service, servant.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal for 2025 is 1 million people see this message.
Whoa. Wow. That is really cool. You know what? I love business people who measure their goals not in dollars, but in people served, impact made. I think that's fantastic. So, what else is on the horizon? Podcast, TV show, helping people grow, networking. What else is out there for Steve Ramona?
Well, the podcast has been a network accelerator. I used to run networking groups, 5, 10, 15, 20 people. I used to run 5 of them. So
wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of networking groups to run.
It was, but I was, again, people, asset investment business. I wanted to meet more people. And a quick story on that, and audience, this is a great tip. So January 2020, I became a salesperson for this digital business card company. I'm like, what's the best way to maximize my time? Well, this company had 10 meetings a week. So I went to all the meetings every week.
That's a lot of meetings.
Yeah, it's 10 hours a week, but I'm like, I need to meet people because I've gone through my whole network already. I've been with them a few months. I need to meet new people. I need more referrals.
Yeah.
And here's the cool thing. In 8 weeks, I met 500 new people. Now, not all in the networking group.
Right.
But, hey, Lynn, I love what you do. Let's jump on a call. And I brought them value. I'm going back to that again. I uplifted them. And they go, how can I help you? Well, I've got this digital business card. Hey, if you're interested, anybody you know is interested, take a look at this. I give them a quick demo.
Yeah.
And I became the top sales guy in the company. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just meeting people.
I've never heard anyone say they've met 500 people in, did you say 8 weeks?
8 weeks.
That's a lot of people. That almost makes my head spin a little bit, but in a sales position, that's what you need to do, right?
Yeah,
the more
and
people
I'll disclose.
You meet.
Yeah, and I got to be careful. I forget when I say this. I didn't meet with all of them.
Oh, yeah. I did.
500 people were scheduled or I've met with. And I think it took me 3 months to meet everybody. But again, every time I met someone, I got another referral. So it just kept compounding. We know when money compounds, what happens.
Yeah, it grows exponentially, right?
There you go. You get it. You're all over it.
I love it. So what advice do you have? So let's say, because a lot of people will say, I hate networking. Networking meetings make me scared. You used the word earlier. They make me uncomfortable. What advice do you have for somebody who maybe hasn't really felt that comfortable in this space before?
Run away, run fast. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking because they're great opportunities.
Yeah.
I have a principle, and I love your Barbara, what you're talking about free. I love that. I talk about that. She's a beautiful person. I could tell already.
She is a beautiful person.
I could tell. It's somebody thinks like that. They're awesome.
Yeah.
I have the ASLA principle. It's ASLA. ASLA principle.
Okay.
And it means ask, shut up, listen, ask.
Okay.
And I get this.
Did you miss the tell part, the pitch part in there? It's not supposed to be ass slap or something like that?
No ass slapping. You're going to do that later. That's actually funny. Ass slapping.
I wondered if you'd pick up on that.
Yeah, we're in sync here. Definitely.
Okay.
But people, audience, think about this when you're on a Zoom call for business or networking. How many people's screens go black? Maybe they're going to the bathroom. And I'm not judging that because, somebody's at the door. They have to take a call.
Right.
But I want you to think about, are they really listening to the person talking?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Because they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
So when you meet people in networking and you resonate with them, you go, hey, Lynn, man, I love you're doing good marketing. I love your mission. Let's jump on a call and see how we can support each other.
Yeah.
So you jump on the call and you ask a question. What are you passionate about, Lynn? And then I shut up. I listen to I doing good. I want to help them grow. I'm passionate about great people and highlighting them, like you told me on a podcast.
Yeah, you know me well, Steve. You have a good memory. And I know you talk to a lot of people.
Well, thank you. But that's the listening part that people seem to not bridge. Don't shut up and go, dun, 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 dun. And then it's like, what did Lynn just say? Listen, because if any skill set you need to have, it's that listening with this principle. Because then you ask again, you go, okay, you said, you're passionate about this. Would lawyers be a great connection for you? Because I heard something about stress.
Yeah.
So that next ask is tied to because what do people, I get so fired up about this. What do people get excited about? Then I listen. Well, you just got excited because I listened to your podcast. Right. I took in what you said. The audience is not going to be everything, but you just pull out bits and pieces that you think where you can help. Either you can help them or you have somebody that can, or you have a resource tip.
I love that. So ASLA, let's see if I can remember it. Ask, shut up, listen, and then ask again. That is a great formula. There's no pitching or selling that's part of that equation. Fantastic.
What's interesting?
Yeah.
Real quick, is that you really are, and pitching's not right, you really are selling.
Yeah.
But you're selling value.
Yeah. But it doesn't feel like
it
doesn't feel like selling, right? Like the person, and that really probably is the true definition of a great sale, right? That you are fulfilling a need. You are, there's that book, Gap Selling. You are finding that gap and you are making that answer or that bridge. And it's meaningful. You're not just pushing something that, hey, is on my list or in my quota today so I can get this going. I love it. So, Steve, I know we've got people listening that are going to go, this is pretty cool. I'd like to find out more about this Steve Ramona guy. What's the best way for them to find you?
They can email me. It's Steve, my first name, R1961 at gmail.com.
Wow.
Super simple. I haven't changed it probably in 40 years.
Okay.
And an audience, it is my birthday. I am 63. I'm proud.
Nice.
I have no problem to say that because at any age we can help people and help them grow.
Amen. We will, for everyone, we'll have that in the show notes on the KidGlov website. So if they want to grab that there, they can. Very bold to give out your email on the podcast. I love it. That is truly sharing. All right. Well, Steve, I'm going to ask you my favorite question next, because I feel honored that I get to talk with people who are so passionate and so inspirational like yourself. I want a Steve Ramona original quote to inspire our listeners.
It's somewhat original. I heard it from somebody else. The Asshole is the one I was going to use, so I had to bring that up early because you were so right on.
Oh, man, it was too good.
No, that's okay. What I've learned through billionaires that I've worked with very successful people.
Yeah.
Everybody needs help.
Ah.
Everybody's a person.
Yeah.
I told you I had this real famous celebrity on my podcast about an hour ago.
Oh, you're not referring to me?
No, you're my favorite person last week. This is a new week.
Okay,
so let's keep that in perspective.
Okay.
She was last week. But everybody is human.
Yeah.
If you treat them right and have value.
Yeah.
We got on that podcast and she was actually late and it was so great. And here's a perfect way. Treat everybody the same. She was late 15 minutes.
Oh, that's a decent amount of lateness too.
And here's the way universe works.
Yeah.
I forgot it was still on.
Oh.
I was working, doing multitasking.
Yep.
And she pops up. She goes, "Oh my God, it was a problem." Her calendar tech got all screwed up.
Yeah.
But I did the podcast and I said, "That's not a problem, man. I could have gone,
yep.
You're late. Sorry, let's just reschedule."
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be wrong.
No.
But here's an original quote that will help you.
Okay. All right.
So when you serve people, you serve at one level. Okay.
When you serve people, you serve at one level. Tell me more.
Okay, I'm going to finish this.
Okay.
What I do is go to the next level. Like a podcast guest comes on my show. They don't wait weeks to be on my show. As you learned, they're on my show. They're out to my world in 2 days.
Yeah. Yes. Very fast.
So do more. If you think you can do this, find out ways you can do more. Doesn't cost you a lot more. Doesn't cost a lot of time. It's just creative thinking. If you're fully immersed like you are, Lynn, you're a servant's heart. If you want to develop this and be a big part of your life, which you should, be different than everybody else. Even in serving, you can be different.
I love that. All right. When you serve people, you serve at one level. You, Steve Ramona, go to the next level. Do more is what I heard you say. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I feel that from you as well. So, Steve, I love talking to you. As we wrap up this time together today, what would you say is the most important thing you would like people to remember about the work that you're doing?
I love it. You're an amazing host, and I thank you. It's a great show. I get better 1% every day. And I'll give you examples. Read 15 minutes in a book. Meet 10 people a week, one new person a week. Go out and serve 10 people this week. Whatever that looks like, just get better 1% every day. We got about 12 days left in the month.
Yeah.
Even if you increase 12%.
Right. 12% better is a pretty decent amount of better, right?
It is.
12% better is a pretty decent amount of better. 352% better, 1% a day. That's a pretty decent amount of better.
Huge.
Right?
Huge.
Yeah. Fantastic. I love it. So inspirational. Steve, I'm just going to say, I fully believe the world needs more people like you, more concepts like ASLA, which we talked about earlier, more podcasts like Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. And I just really appreciate talking with you today.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
We hope you enjoyed today's Agency for Change podcast. To hear all our interviews with those who are making a positive change in our communities, or to nominate a changemaker you'd love to hear from, visit KidGlov.com at KIDGLOV.com to get in touch. As always, if you like what you've heard today, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and share. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.